I want to bring in now independent senator from Maine, Angus King. He's a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, the Intelligence Committee, and the Budget Committee. Senator, we get one-stop shopping for all of our topics this morning with you. Great to see you.
Go for it, Allison.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's start with the big breaking news out of Yemen, and that is that the U.S. has pulled these 100 special ops members out of the country. Can you explain to us, give us some context here of what this means? Because aren't our Navy SEALs, our Delta Force guys, aren't these the guys who are used to being in the worst war-torn hotspots on the globe? I mean, that's sort of their job description. Why do they have to leave Yemen today?
Well, I think because the security situation is so bad, and I think, Allison, it's important to clarify a little bit of what's going on here. Yemen was two countries until 1990. And what's really happening is it's breaking back down again into two countries. There's a civil war that's already begun. People are saying they're on the brink of it. I think they're, when you take over two major cities, I call that a civil war. And then on top of that, you have the terrorist threat, which is really separate. It gets very confusing, but the Houthis aren't really a terrorist organization. They're a Shiite group that are trying to take over the country, and they've been around for many years, particularly in the north. What the problem is, when the government breaks down and you have a civil war, then it becomes open season for Al-Qaeda and ISIS and the terrorist groups to use Yemen as a base. And when the president was talking about being a success, he wasn't so much talking about Yemen. He was talking about our efforts to take out the leadership of Al-Qaeda, AQAP so-called, which were successful, but it was with the permission of the Yemeni government, and now the Yemeni government is in exile, if you will, down in Aden, and it's really it's a very confusing and difficult situation, but I think the administration made the right call to pull out our people, given the absolute chaos that's now in that country.
Look, what's going on there this morning is troubling on so many levels, and it's just what you touched on, which is that this Yemen was seen as a great partner in counterterrorism activities with the U.S. As you said, the president called it a success story. So today, to see it turning into this cauldron again of terrorism, what should the U.S. do?
Well, if I knew, I'd be president, Allison. There's no clear answer. I think what we have to do is observe, try to get as much information and intelligence as we can. The other piece, not to make it even more difficult, is that the Houthis are aligned with Iran. And we've been focusing a lot around here on Iran's nuclear threat, but Iran is making mischief quite conventionally all over the Middle East. They now have their tentacles into Baghdad, Damascus, now Sana'a in Yemen. This is another aspect of this that makes it troubling. I don't think there is an active role for the U.S. other than intelligence and trying to see where the dust is going to settle, and then see if we can't maintain our counterterrorism efforts, because even though we may not be sympathetic to the Houthis or Iran, nobody likes ISIS. And I think the fact that ISIS, your reporter mentioned ISIS bombed a mosque. ISIS is a equal opportunity killer. They're killing Muslims as well as Westerners. And so I think there may be an opportunity for some continuing counterterrorism work once the dust settles on what amounts, I believe, to a civil war.
Here's another breaking story that we've been talking about this morning about ISIS. ISIS has posted online what it claims are the names, photos, and addresses of about 100 U.S. military men and women, and they are calling on sleeper cells in the U.S. to attack these people. ISIS also says it hacked into several military servers to get this information. You're on the Intelligence Committee. Is that true?
Well, there's no, I can't confirm it, but there's no evidence that they hacked into official computers. What it looks like, from what I understand, is that they got most of this information from public sources, Facebook and white pages and other kinds of listings. Now, I can't rule out, at least at this point, haven't been briefed recently in the last couple of days on this, but it looks like this is public sources. But this is just one more aspect of how diabolical these guys are. They're very clever about their use of the media, and particularly of social media. You heard over the weekend about the medical students going there, but there's a new book out about ISIS. It just comes out this week. A fellow named Berger is one of the authors that really talks about who they are and what how they appeal to people. And one of the things we're learning is they give all these rosy pictures of the ideal caliphate and the perfect Islamic state, and then people get there and it's pretty awful. The line is, once you get there, you don't leave. And unfortunately, people are falling for it, but hopefully over time, people are going to learn that it's a bait and switch in a kind of extreme way.
We certainly hope so. Back here at home, let's talk about what's going on in the Senate this morning. The budget is going to be brought to the floor. You're on the Budget Committee, as we say. So let me put up what we believe will be involved in this Senate budget resolution. It will balance the budget in 10 years. It provides repeal and replacement of Obamacare, obviously a controversial tenet. It extends Medicare, the trust fund solvency. It preserves Social Security. It ensures flexibility for funding of national defense. And yet, Senator, no new tax hikes. Explain how the math works with all of this.
Well, the short answer is it doesn't. I mean, one of the, I think, kind of humorous parts of the budget on both the House and the Senate, the proposed budget, is that it repeals Obamacare but keeps the taxes, keeps the revenues. So, you know, I don't think that makes much sense. And there are a lot of little in the House budget. They maintain support for defense by what's called overseas contingency money, so-called OCO. And that money doesn't count in the budget. So how can they be claiming to balance the budget when they're using money to fund defense that's offline, if you will? It doesn't add up. Budgets these days, Allison, are more political documents than they are true budget documents. And what really is going on here is severe, and I mean really severe, cuts to everything from national security to NIH to Head Start to education to job training, all of those things. We're now at the lowest percentage of gross domestic product of those expenditures, so-called non-discretionary, since World War II, and going down. And I think that's what's really going on here in terms of the politics. It's going to be a tough year to try to get this sorted out.
All right, we'll see what happens there this morning. Senator Angus King, thanks so much. We always appreciate you coming on today.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get over to Chris.
Allison.